Kyrie Irving, 43 points on 18 of 26 shooting.
Yeah.
The segment is powered by Robinhood. Robinhood is giving users a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Go to gardenreport.robinhood.com. That's gardenreport.robinhood.com. So, Kyrie Irving again, 43 points.
Stock up, Kyrie Irving.
Stock up, Kyrie Irving. Very well done there.
Thank you.
Is it going to take this like every night to get big wins? Are they going to have to ride Kyrie for 43 points, 26 shots against big opponents like this?
I certainly hope
Nick's going to
not.
start, guys. Nick's going to start.
Just as long as we're all straight, I'm going to start. I hope not, because he's not going to go, what was it, 18 for 24?
18 for
26.
18 for 26. I already forgot the line. But he's not going to go that every game. Not only that, if tonight even felt at times like that, we talked about it on the podcast, the Celtics. It almost felt like the Isaiah Thomas teams where everybody kind of stands around and watches. There's no excuse for that now because this team is loaded. So Kyrie, no, I'm getting into the playoffs.
Credit Tom Westerholm from Mass Live. He said in the fourth quarter, he said there's a lot of IT possessions here.
He did say
that. Oh, really? See, I didn't even know that.
I think you responded to it. You replied to you.
Well, I was gonna say I said to him, I agree completely. Because it felt like some of the shots Kyrie was making, it reminded me as did Tom.
I was waiting for him to do this.
Exactly. And that's a compliment to Kyrie because obviously Isaiah was one of the most electric players in the NBA during that span. So, I mean, to answer your question, they can't win that way. I mean, he's not going to go 18 for 26. That's a bananas line.
Right.
And, the good thing is that, and he had 39 points and the Celtics were ready to lose that game. Like, they were going to lose that game.
Which is concerning.
What I said was, like, if you're the Celtics, you are way too talented to waste that performance. Like, it shouldn't even be, like, if Kyrie's scoring 39, you should be up by 10 or 15.
But you made a good point. The end of this game, it wasn't just Kyrie.
Right,
it turned into Jason Tatum stepping up. It turned into Gordon Hayward stepping up, who I think had his best game in a Celtics uniform to this point. So is that the blueprint? You could ride Kyrie for a little while, and then these guys step up at the end. You got a little fourth quarter Tatum there.
The blueprint is that Jason Tatum needs to be Jason Tatum. And
not Kobe.
Well,
not
someday.
Kobe's version.
Always comes back to Kobe.
We wanted to be Kobe for sure, but we
just
don't.
A little less long too.
There's got to be a
little less long
Yeah, exactly. But you need to have that second player to step in because otherwise eventually they'll figure it out that they're just going to go to Kyrie every time and it's not going to work. So you got to have a guy like Tatum come through. Hayward, we obviously know he can do it. I'm not sure if mentally and physically he's there yet, but he did show flashes tonight, and in overtime, he stepped up in a huge way. First of all, he hit the 2 free throws to tie the game up. That was a lot of pressure. And then in overtime, he came through. He had a nice baseline fadeaway, I think. And he looked a lot more comfortable out there. And in 39 minutes of play.
And played a lot of minutes with the second unit, which helped him get in a groove.
Do you think that could be a trend going forward? I mean, a lot of people want Hayward to come off the bench at this point.
I think that's Stevens' way of getting around him coming off the bench is by just playing him with the second unit more. And I think it's helping him. Tonight, it definitely helped him get into a groove.
I think it is. And it was interesting because tonight and on Wednesday against the Chicago Bulls, they went with Gordon Hayward and Jaylen Brown with the second unit as opposed to Tatum and Brown with the second unit. And it kind of showed some results for Tatum at least because he had a great fourth quarter. So I don't know if that has an impact on it, but it's something to keep an eye on.
Well, go ahead.
Sorry, real quick. One of the things Brad said after the game was that he's still learning about this team. So
I was going there.
He's totally gonna just mix and match players, and that's the Celtics are so deep and they have so much talent, 1 through 10, where that he can make those moves and try to see what works. And the starting lineup might be the same for the next 25 games, but within those 48 minutes, he's gonna mix and match and see what players play well with other players and what lineups work.
Interesting, he did not even hesitate when asked why Jaylen Brown wasn't on the floor at the end of the game.
Right.
Stevens didn't even hesitate. He has so many options. It's just the options have to start stepping up.
Morris had a great game. You can't take him off the floor.
It has to be so frustrating for for Brad at this point because this team is so talented. Well, because the team is so talented, he's having a hard time getting the gel, getting the best out of them.
There's just inconsistencies.
So much inconsistency.
If you get one night where all these role guys are on the same page at once.
Chris, I think it's bordering complacency.
Okay.
Leading up until probably the Bulls game.
Well, that bothered you in the preseason because before the season started, obviously there was a lot of hype around this team, and the Celtics, specifically some of the bench players, were really hyping that up a lot. And you kind of said that right in the beginning. It's like they've already made it, and that would potentially lead to some complacency. So I can totally see that. But
real quick, one of the things I'll say is that I think while Brad's trying to learn the team, I think the players are trying to learn the team too.
No question.
If you think about probably the two best players on the Celtics so far this year, it's Kyrie Irving and it's Marcus Morris. And those are probably the two players that know their role before anybody else does. They know Kyrie knows he's the number one, and Morris knows he's like the first guy off the bench. And they have embraced their roles, and they know what their role is. The other guys, I think, are still trying to find out when they should shoot or when they should pass. And if you look at the stat sheets, it's like 8 shots, 7 shots, 6 shots, 7 shots. It's like
and it's that even distribution, and they're trying to make it that way.
They had to read the Tim Bontemps. I probably butchered his last name, but that article because everybody was driving the lane. I mean, just about the amount of perimeter shots.
Okay.
The lack of points in the paint has been ridiculous so far this season. And tonight, Friday night, everybody was driving the paint. Yeah. Especially Kyrie. It was one of those games where, holy cow, he made another one. It was one of those.
Exactly.
It was a lot of fun to watch, but again, over the next couple weeks, next couple months, we'll see how the Celtics blueprint for winning folds out. Follow us on CLNS. Celtics, CLNS. Leave your thoughts in the comment section.